Like someone who won't be shy. Just get it and send it to me. I'm just gonna move it around. Like you can push it
Yes. Okay. Hi, I'm Nathan Foxton. This is my second crit. I'm going to say things I didn't. I finished my undergrad at a place called Covenant College, but I went to a place called Delaware College part-time for most of my art credits. And so I did a lot of art and thought about what I did. So last crit, I think I kind of took away that I didn't know how to mix chromatic neutrals, and that I had no idea what I actually wanted to make, and that I didn't know how to move paint around on the surface because I got really natural painting without finding anything to an actual surface. What's changed? That's up for debate, but I've tried to do a lot more experiments in mixing paint on the surface. I don't know if I know what I want to paint, but I do know that I want to make paintings that somehow like poke at paintings about painting. So I've started to incorporate this idea of a portal in the painting because I think they both continue to talk about separating different color spaces or spaces that a certain temperature of light activates a certain local color scheme going on. And at the same time, the portals come back like very surfacey things in an objective way of pigment just sitting on the surface of this board. So I still really like to paint the figure and some figurative things, but I think I often get depressed about the narrative I'm painting and just want to make a painting, and so you kind of hold somewhere the tension between the two. So there's not really a clear narrative. I'm not going to try to find one besides this idea of portal and some things that I like to change every now and then. So that's what I have to say. That's it.
What was that about the portals?
So this idea of portals here, there's actually like two portals here. This one is just really acting like a green screen. And kind of the idea of one here, and then this one's just kind of barging in. As a way to kind of, if this was just a painting of people playing at a park, it would just be like art historical and kind of very unconscious, kind of like as if I was just taking pictures of people at a park and putting it in a newspaper or something. But I want to put things in it, kind of like subject matter devices that reflect the rest of the painting, like a lot of the colors here are kind of as if this were a archway made of like mirrors or something, that kind of starts to tie in some other elements of the paint and kind of suck it in. It's somewhere between like a giant amplifier.
So where's the port?
Well, I started using a projector, and this was during the model sessions, and we used a projector to both illuminate figures, but also to create a different space. And I originally just wanted to project an iceberg here that's like in, this one was I did in my studio and just projected an iceberg on the wall and had the model standing in front of it and just
Remember that iceberg's not on the figure too?
because I wanted to make it as a background to kind of create, Poussin did, he had a grand machine where he did a little box. I just wanted to turn the whole room into a box. But, so the projector has, because of that, it creates all sorts of interesting problems, as in the background is always lighter. And you always have two different light spaces. So I think I got the idea of the portal because I like the projector, and I would use the projector to create a background image. And then the figure standing in front of the projection always were in a different light space because of the lighting used in the room. So short of trying to just turn the room into one scenario, I like the idea of two different light or color spaces bumping up against each other.
So then that's sort of replacing this problem you have where the narrative starts to bog you down or something?
Yeah, because I get, I paint like I haven't seen or like people I know, and it's just like, like my like background information, my life plans change every week. And
Somehow I believe it.
it's really erratic, so I'm not shaking my beard.
So what's going on with this? Is that mountain, that's suggestion? Or is it?
Well, this one actually I worked, like I have difficulty just painting an image that's just there without wanting to do painterly things to it. Like this one here started as a photograph, and these, and I just want to play with the surface. Like I just can't just paint the thing itself. It has to be like about painting in some way, or like my urge to paint things, which is more like putting little specks of color on things and just screwing things like that. So this one started on Photoshop, and that one started on Photoshop as well, but the space was too disjunctive, like things didn't make sense light-wise and like spatially. And so when I did this, I wanted to make sure that there was like a light space over here where the iceberg is, and there's light in that area, and it comes through this part of the painting, and this, where the viewer might be standing, is in shadow. So I wanted there to be I still wanted the space to make sense, even if like there's another horizon line up here and another. I wanted like light to be the honest thing moving through the painting.
Do you read these two, or, I don't know, I'm kind of seeing, you have two modes for working with portals. You have maybe much more of a sort of portal where you're just using it as an excuse to create two spaces and two color spaces as you're talking about, so it's
Yes.
more of an ordinary scenario. I guess, I don't know if like a room full of naked people and projection of an iceberg on the wall
Right.
is completely ordinary, but it's like a plausible single space.
Yes.
Whereas this seems much more like an invented, carved, dream space of sorts.
Absolutely.
I don't know, what are the differences
So-
between those two types of portals? Are you thinking about two paintings?
Yes, I'm not sure. Like in these ones, I just started painting, and I feel like Tim did a demo with me. I really like picked up wanting to like move things around with the element more. So like I've really gotten comfortable doing that. And so like these kind of portals just came about without thinking about it entirely, but I wanted portals there, and they kind of look like John Christo's Art Gates, like Central Park. And they're like two like obviously portals where like I want to treat this thing like a portal. This one, the portal idea is like in process, where like the portal idea, the inception of this piece was there from the beginning. So it's like very much a part of the landscape. Where in this, I still see the possibility of a portal or like another image emerging through this. And you could maybe guess that there's an iceberg back here, but it's so scraped out. So it's more so like a blue space in which something could be painted out of at this point. So it's I want the portals to be more integral to the landscape, and then there to be like a pretty little. I want to stay at this stuff because I like kind of like through the portal. So.
What are the little sketches?
Those sketches are things that I do in my studio at the end of the day painting. I still have wet paint on my palette, and I order where I want to put it. And so I'll tape pieces of paper to my door, to whatever, and just like kind of put things and collect little ideas. And I kind of feel like I can really be free. And I started a gallery on my Facebook page called Pocket Gallery. And on the screen they're like 4 or 5 times the size that they actually are. They look like pretty like epic paintings on a larger scale. And I kind of like that I could be, this one I did like last night, and it was kind of scary because of how much wet paint I had working on there. And because I was like the patchwork painter, I just do like a little bits at a time. It's very like unnerving to put like $80 worth of paint on the surface of your canvas and expect like something to be good. Your tubes of paint can be real fast when you're like smearing all stuff. So this is like where I kind of like was able to be free to, oh, what if I drag green paint to pink paint? Or what if I, did, that's where I kind of get to like try moving paint around and what it's like. Some of them have everything from like spray paint to glitter to graphite to pastel chunks in it. And so I'm kind of, they're my place to experiment. And they might turn into something else. Like these ones are either cut up paintings from before, glitter, even like technically it's collage, but I have like different paper that I've painted, so everything is like something that sort of brush over. And those are kind of more like, these are, I think of Dan Murray when I think of these. I think of Dan Castle when I think of these. Yeah, so.
Like a small painting, most words.
Yeah, they're nice. Those are like the studies. But I mean, in a digital world, I could blow them up and have an online gallery where they're freaking huge.
Are they paintings?
They are paintings. They're painting studies.
They're paintings.
Paintings.
Do you like them?
Very much.
I feel like your
Why?
little paintings are almost more about painting than your more like illustrated concepts.
Yeah, but I like painting the figure, and I feel like I'm so rooted in observation, or like wanting to take from observation, that I can't like let go of that. Like I feel like, you know, if I do enough like figure paintings or figure studies, like something will emerge out of that. So
Well, it's something emerged out of those little ones, though, right? Were those observational, or were those?
no, they just like happen, and I feel out of space.
You have a little figure in one of them.
Yes, well, that's because I did like the color spot thing, and I just smeared across it, and then I started like painting into it. And so like that, the male's nude study is kind of like trying to think like that. Where if I put it, the whole pose was different when I first started that.
No, I mean in one of the.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, well, no, this one. Yeah, but like the idea is like I want like the feel of this to be in larger paintings. It's just like a slower process a lot of times because I actually don't know what the painting will be. And like this is like an adequate size to finish an image in some ways, or at least establish it while still having that really nice works.
Why can't a painting be painted the same way that you paint an experimental?
Well, I think I'm definitely moving in that direction where like this is just spray paint and acrylic on here. So I was able to kind of like draw little things, and that was how this started. And so at some point, like I'll just have a lot of paint on here, and I'll know what my image is, and I can kind of play more with the surface quality of things versus you know, maybe like things change, but there's like enough of an armature that the decorative things can, you know, it won't be descriptive. It's more so just like the enjoyment of playing.
When you say decorative, do you mean like decorative as in like material things that you enjoy and moving around paint?
Well, I think that's what I like about paint is that it's just this really like luscious thing that is like it's like the access, you know, like no one needs to wear jewelry or no one needs to drive a sports car, but like it shows, you know, like no one needs to make a super like thick painting, but when it does, I think it exudes something more besides just like, oh no, I need to do like a constructive version of the iceberg, and so these are just all planes. I think paint does something more. I think it excites the imagination, and I think that that's more of a luxury than it is a promise thing into it. So I see it as a decorative, playful, enjoyable thing.
The thing about the little paintings, they just sort of naturally have this kind of atmosphere
Yes.
to them, you know, and they seem, I mean, you're not really you're not trying to make paintings.